Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, moving on to part 3. There are 3 choices. For choice number 1, write an answer to one of the questions 3 to 5 in this part. Write your answer in 200 to 250 words in an appropriate style on this question paper. Put the question number in the box at the top of the answer space. Maksudnya, pilih satu soalan, kena tulis dalam 200-250 patah perkataan, and make sure that you write the number of the question. Ramai orang selalu tertinggal. Tinggal tulis nombor soalan. You have to write your number of question. So the question is, you see this notice on the board outside the school library. Articles wanted. My school canteen. What other types of food would you like to be served? What special facilities should your canteen have? How can you improve your canteen? Write us an article answering these questions. The best article will be displayed on the school magazine. Alright, so for this one, it's clearly you have to write about you have to write an article, and this is for your school. It's more to professional. It talk about serious matter, much more serious discussion. So we talk about school canteen. I have highlighted the keywords, and you have to make sure that the tone of your writing should be formal, and you have to remember that this is for your school. And how can we make sure that you achieve this task successfully? We want to see how you develop your idea. That's the first one. How do you analyze issues? How creative you are at solving problem, and how good you are at critical thinking. So the stage of writing here is a lot more advanced. You need to use your knowledge, your general knowledge, your personal understanding on the issue, and how will you develop your preference or your solution in solving the issue or in discussing the topic. So let's see the sample answer. So this is the drafting. There are 3 tasks. What types of food would you like to be served? Special facilities canteen should have. How to improve canteen. Linkers as usual, and then idioms and proverbs that I think relevant to this topic. You are what you eat. Finger licking good. Wolf foot down. State of art facilities or space. You are what you eat. Anda adalah apa yang anda makan. Finger licking good, it means very delicious. And wolf foot down, you makan dengan berseleranya. State of art facilities mean kita panggil modern, kemudahan yang modern. This is the sample answer. My School Canteen by Ridwan Chua bin Abdullah. The canteen at SMK Sri Petaling is very big and with state-of-art canteen space. It can accommodate up to 500 students, teachers, and staff with splendid array of food at one time. In providing continuous satisfying service to customers, canteen providers should keep improving to serve better food, facilities, and service. Firstly, I would suggest canteen provider to serve different types of food with more well-balanced choices. The food should be prepared in hygienic condition and freshly cooked. Fresh fruits like bananas, papayas, watermelons, mangoes, and pineapples should be sold at canteen instead of fast food. Fast food or junk food like candies, burgers, nuggets, fries and chips contain harmful additive and strong coloring. It has zero nutritional value. You are what you eat. Being students, what we consume daily is important, as eating nutritious food is directly proportional to excellent performance in examination. Besides, canteen providers should only be allowed to sell only rice, noodles, bread, fish, chicken, salad, as well as fruits and juices. Instead of soft drinks, vending machine at canteen should only be stocked with healthy choice of drinks like milk, soybean milk, chocolate, tea, and others. It would be great if the canteen could make water readily available for everyone, for free. Since most customers are students, they should get the best food at the cheapest rate. It is always hectic during recess, so the canteen should provide effective serving system too. Cashless payment counter should be available to cut the long queue. So this is a model answer. This is the sample that I hope will give student a basic idea how can you write your answer. Again, the one in green is the one that I said type of foods that I want the school to provide. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 paragraphs altogether with introduction. Let me know if you think this is a good idea, because I don't really have a conclusion here. I just write the idea, I just write my point, and then that's it. If you can comment and how can we improve on that, please let me know. And this is considered as sophisticated writing. So if you compare the first, second, and third, the third essay, the third task sounds very formal. The tone is different, the language used is different, it is more sophisticated, it sounds more formal, and this is something that people will publish in school magazine. You can actually see the maturity of your writing, maturity of your idea, the creativity that goes with you, how creative you are actually giving opinion on something, on issues, how creative you are, how descriptive you are in stating your points. When I said fresh fruits, I give them arrays of fresh fruits. Illustrate my idea, and then I give them what kind of healthy choice of drinks. It is packed with information, it is packed with details, but it is not too much where it will be a bit overwhelming. Okay, next, choice number 2, a review. So this is a review about a movie. You recently saw this notice in a magazine. Reviews required. Have you watched any interesting movies lately? Send us your movie review. Say what you enjoyed about the movie. Would you recommend the movie to your friends? Why? The best reviews will be published in our newsletter. So remember, again, you have to write only 200 and 250 words. So what do you think, the movie of my choice? Okay, let's have a look. Ta-da! So I chose Harry Potter, and it's the first movie, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Here I forgot to write why I recommend it, but I did write it in my essay. There is no proverb or idioms I use here. I didn't find anything that is relevant or suitable to be put in the essay, so I leave it out. And let's take a look at the sample answer. Model answer. The first fantasy movie based on a literary sage that I deeply love is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This begins when Harry Potter dwells with his aunt, uncle, and cousin. On his 11th birthday, Harry received a letter to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The special effects are truly mind-blowing. It appeals to audience members of all ages with visually thrilling, magical wizarding world, straightforward storyline, and soundtrack. There is no denying the film is riveting, and it delivers as promised. It is a herd of colorful characters, inventive adventure, and even a little pathos. But above all, this movie really respects the book written by J.K. Rowling. It is rigorously a faithful adaptation of the novel. The film director, Chris Columbus, doesn't use any imagination beyond that which J.K. Rowling previously supplied for her book. Furthermore, this film has captivating sequences. The first is the battle featuring Harry, Ron, and Hermione against an ugly troll. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson perform their roles excellently. The second is Harry's Quidditch debut. The third one is the final showdown between Harry and the evil dark wizard, Lord Voldemort. The scenes are impressive and most of the magic is nicely presented. This movie is a magical adventure for me. I enjoyed the film for its enchanting wizarding world, its storyline of friendship and love against evil. I will rate it 9 over 10. If you like fantasy movie with dash of magical experience, Harry Potter is for you. 249 words. This is a review which is adapted from real review Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone. This is again not the best model answer for movie writing, for a movie review. It is a bit challenging. I find it a bit difficult to talk about movie review in a way where I have to be very convincing. I have to use the vocabulary that is captivating, that is apt to explain how great the movie is. What kind of greatness that you see there? You have to go in details. You have to analyze. So, being a Potter fan, as I am, I'm very well versed with this movie. This is why I have the most confidence in talking about the movie. That's why I can use the word and the explaining the scenes in the way that I want, because I have the structure of imagination, the structures of um, experience on being. I have been a very dedicated Potter fans for so long, and I know how the movie making me enjoying the adventure of watching Harry Potter. So because I read the books and I watch the movie, and for me in writing this review, it takes so much effort and so much time, because I want to make sure that it delivers to what is needed. You have to make sure that why it is fantastic. You have to talk about first. You have to talk about the setting of the movie, and then basically simply put what the movie is about. Is it a modern movie? Is it a tragic movie? Or what kind of themes that you have in the movie? What makes you impressed about the movie? Is it the screen directing? Is it the use of special effect? Is it directing from the director, or the stellar performance from the actors? I should put the word stellar performance. It is a good vocabulary. It is a good vocabulary that I did not put it. I don't know why. So you can talk about how the adventures works in the movie. I do a lot of reference in writing this movie. It is not easy again, and you have to make sure that you don't sound too ambiguous. And then your choice of word, should it should be suitable for movie writing. It's a lot of work. It has a lot of the difficulty of writing this piece of essay is interesting process, because we are not used to this type of writing, but with a lot of exposure, and then practice, I think students can do it very well. In writing just a movie review, there will be no problem, but in writing excellent movie review, that will be a high level of challenge. It's quite a task to achieve, and I hope this will be a good reference for you to write an excellent movie review, to explore your interests, and then for teachers like me to actually know what kind of interest, to know you better through your writing. Okay, moving on to the next one. Choice number 3, story. This is the last part. Question 5. Your teacher has asked you to write a story for a school magazine. The story must have the title, A Dream Comes True. Your story should include a description of the dream, how the dream is achieved. Write your story. Remember to write 200 to 250 words. When I first look at the question, a dream comes true, naturally you will think about two things. First is a dream that you have in your sleep, when you sleep at night in your slumber, and the second one is a dream where your ambition, your aim in life, what do you want to be. So You have to be clear on this question. For this question, you have to read the details. A description of the dream. The first part is a bit sweet. It's a bit ambiguous. It can be a dreams in your dream, and then you got tricked by that. But when you read the second one, how the dream is achieved. Now, this is clearly going to get you to focus on achieving your dream, as in fulfilling your wish, your hope, your aim, and whatever goal that you have in life. So let's take a look at the sample of answer. Oh, let's take a look at the note first. There are two tasks: description of the dreams and how the dream is achieved. I listed down the keywords here. Idea, roughly the idea. I suddenly reminded to a speech given by Dr. Martin King Luther. If you don't know him, just type it out, Google him. So I Google out some of the idioms or proverbs or the quotes by the famous people. Allow yourself the freedom to think and dream for yourself, like Albert Einstein. Dreams don't work unless you do, by John C. Maxwell. And the last one, if you can dream it, you can do it, Walt Disney. These are the things that I have in mind. Let's see how much do I write. Ta-da! So this is the model answer. Dreams, a dream comes true. You have to make sure that you know how many dreams I'm going to talk here. Dream comes true. So there's only one dream. If you talk about two dreams, you want to be a fashion blogger and then you want to be a content creator, it doesn't match. You have to choose only one dream. You cannot divert away from the task. So be clear on that. So this one, for the title, Dream Comes True. Everyone dreams. Some make their dream comes true, while others keep dreaming about it. It reminds me to a speech by Dr. Martin Luther King. I have a dream. I have always been passionate about gadgets, and I often dream about working in technology field. However, my parents encouraged me to pursue medicine, but I know my aptitude is different. Since I was little, I was always fascinated with gadgets brought home by dad. He owns a lot of cool gadgets ranging from Ericsson R380 to the first iMac G3. When he allowed me to use his iMac G3, it was love at the first experience. My passion in technology blossomed. Surrounded by gadget enthusiasts, discussing about technology has always been a key aspect of my life. I was 15 when I first joined YouTube in 2010 and started uploading technology videos from my tiny bedroom. Being a beginner, all of the videos are about products or review of products that I have already owned. Although I have a knack for producing tech videos, I was still a high schooler and it wasn't easy to be consistent in producing quality videos. Nevertheless, as of December 2013, I have gained over 700,000 subscribers. It was my first taste to success, a big leap in making my dream close to becoming true. I now work full-time as a professional tech content creator and a host of tech podcast. 10 years later, after my first YouTube video, my dream finally comes true. This is written in 250 words. Again, this is not the best essay. This is not the best model answer. This is an attempt that I have written about. So I imagine myself of being a content creator, and I talk about gadgets or things that I fascinated about. It is clear when you write a story, it should be very casual, and it talks about the tone is different now. You talk about your experience, you're being descriptive about what kind of dream that you have, and then what kind of passion that you want to go into. some of the flavors of my essay is that I use a popular public figure, Dr. Martin Luther King. I have a dream. It shows your knowledge in the subject. So it gives you additional point that you know something. So we want to see your ideas. We want to see your general knowledge. We want to see your critical thinking. We want to see how creative you are at crafting your story, at crafting your narrative, and how clear you are at writing your essay. It only has 4 paragraphs. It's basically I narrate about my dream, and then the one that I have. The one in green is what the dream is about, and then the rest of the paragraph I talk about the development, how I started my passion, and then how it develops, how it blossoms, how I have progressed since that until the mark of the timeline is when I actually work in the industry, and then I have achieved the milestones in the career. I should have written that. Achieve the milestone in a career. That's a good word. And I repeat the keyword once again. Here you can see dream comes true, and I repeat, I put it there in my essay just to mark to emphasize that my dreams finally comes true. So I hope it helps. So that's about it. That's about writing. So assessment scale for writing paper 2. So which task is considered as the trickiest and the easiest to score? Okay, so do you think it is easy to write content? Do you think it is easy to tackle the organization of your essay? How difficult the language goes as you go through the task? What kind of do you have a problem in communicating your idea in the specific language? Do you still have trouble in translating the keywords or certain vocabulary in English language? And the last one, a communicative achievement. This is one thing that I really emphasize about being able to communicate to your target audience. In different tasks, you have different target of audience. One audience needs you to be your friends, another one to be your teacher, another one should be just a narrative. So different tone, a different way of communication, different style of language, your style, your tone of the language. So it should be in communicative achievement. Which one is the most difficult for you to achieve? It is interesting to know. Let me know, and then ask your students as well if you want to ask to let your students know. And the last part is I want to recap. So let's recap. How many parts students need to answer in the writing paper 1 and writing paper 2? How many words you should write in the most in writing task part 1? How many words you should write the most in writing task part 2? How many words you should write the most in writing task part 3? Do you need to respond to all writing tasks? Should be S here in part 3. And now it's your turn to write. Send your writing task to the English group. It can be your teacher's English group. If you have one, you should have one, isn't it? So you can choose which task that you want to fulfill first. For my students, I would like to start with the first one. We should start with the basic level. It should be email writing in 20 minutes. This is the time arrangement that I put here because you have only 1 hour and 30 minutes to fulfill all the tasks. And part 2 is short essay, and the last part is review or article or a story, which takes 40 minutes of your time. Using the same question, let's see how they actually achieve the target, because we want them to enjoy the writing process. That is very important, and to make them feel that writing is not that difficult. It's not very daunting. It can be very exciting, but it does need a lot of work. So with that, I end the session for writing. So that's about it. Before I end the session, there's one thing that I always do with my students. I would like to share a quote. So here's one to share with you. So here's a quote by Dr. Anwar Dr. Anwar Fazal. He's a medical practitioner. This is what I found on Twitter. He says, just because your progress is slow doesn't mean it's not just as important. Be patient, stay motivated, and trust your journey. It is a beautiful quote. I think I read it last night, and it means here, hanya kerana perkembangan anda perlahan, tidak bermakna ianya tidak sepenting yang lain. Bersabarlah, teruskan bermotivasi, dan percaya akan perjalanan hidup anda. So whatever you do right now, this is your race. This is your life. Even though it's slow, there is still a progress. The end result is not important. What important is that the process that you go through in achieving your dream. Why you want to compete being the fastest? Some people, they think that they set a goal of aim where they put a set of age where you should achieve certain things. For example, by 25 you should be able to finish your study, you should graduate, you should get a job, you should get lucrative you should get a stable job with lucrative income, you should own a car, buy a bungalow, have assets. Those norms, the kind of expectations actually is expected by certain people in society. You shouldn't be bothered in following their expectation, because they do not live your life, they do not walk in your shoes, they do not experience what you have been going through. So only you and Allah and the people around you, those who loved you, who care for you, knows what you are going through and how determined you are at achieving what you want to achieve. Even though it is just a simple thing, even though it is just a small thing, but nothing is considered as small as in achieving your dream. And with that, I end my session with Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Close your eyes, hear my